We are back with the third match of our Paradise Games Player Appreciation Open. This is the last round of Swiss, and we've got a treat. The narrative of this really worked out because we have Lucinda up against LL, and we got to see both of these players in the previous two games. If you didn't watch those, go back and watch those. And while you're at it, like and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, like those videos, like this video. I am Brad. With me here is Adam. Adam, do you want to tell us about these decks?
Yeah, hey everybody. Let's start off with LL's deck. This is a deck that LL has been playing for years now, right?
Yeah.
Actually, where she's got a bunch of servos that work well with Rhone, and you can put dice counters on them with Jaliah. So there's a nice intersection here of synergies, and depending on which hero your opponent takes out first, you can kind of shift one direction or the other.
Very often with Jaliah, you see Resourceful because you want another green dice on her to make sure she can use her ability. Turns out Rhone provides a green dice, and Rhone with Combative gives the opportunity for you to create multiple red, which means every once in a while, Jaliah gets to make red counters, which very few Jaliah decks do.
Yeah, just like starting off by playing a Surveillance Drone and then rolling 2 red dice with Rhone means you can go red, red, or green, green for Jaliah's ability, or you can have your off-color 1-drop and then play an Energy Retracer, putting that counter on your Radar Servo or Surveillance Drone or whatever. And so there's really a lot of ways that this ends up working out.
On the other side of the table, we have Lucinda. Lucinda made it to the round of 8?
I think it was 8.
In the Manifold Promotional League. She started on red-green structures and didn't like that and moved on to blue-yellow sacrifice and did like that. But today she is on blue-yellow attachments and she is playing Noble's deck from the Manifold Promotional League.
Exactly. Yeah, this was the thing that Noble brought to the round of 16, and Lucinda said, Noble knows what he's doing. I'll just play that list. EM-Lysteria is a deck where you put attachments on your little guys so that Lysteria can ready them. And there's a bunch of synergies that all coalesce around Spiritbinder Mage being kind of the centerpiece of the deck.
Spiritbinder Mage? I'm sorry, I'm not familiar.
Yeah, so it's a 2-cost character. When you play it, you put an attachment. You can play an attachment on it, paying blue, blue, blue less. And so that is a character that you play, put an attachment on it, and then EM-Urgent's trigger will activate, and you can activate the character immediately, and then ready it with Lysteria's.
And you're telling me Spiritbinder Mage is in this EM-Lysteria deck?
It is, in fact.
All right, I'll believe it when I see it.
And when you're playing this deck, you want to draw as many of those as possible.
We have our players down to the table. We've got Lucinda at the top and LL at the bottom. It looks like Lucinda won the die roll, and she's going to start by activating EM-Urgent.
EM-Urgent is an excellent way to start these rounds if you don't know exactly what your plan is or don't want to open yourself up to removal, because EM can roll draw like Lucinda just did if you need more cards, or you can, wait a little bit. So Follow the Trail is what LL is going to start off the game with, sabotaging the blue 2 shields.
Oh, it's neat. EM-Urgent and Rhone are, I think, the only 2 heroes in Terran Sentinels that give you tempo but it's not tethered to you activating this hero.
Oh, neat. Yeah, that makes sense.
So nice to see them up against each other.
It really is. Lucinda, on the other side, has a Docide Thug pulled to the front of her hand. Oh,
and a Spiritbinder Mage pulled to the back.
Cool. Okay. So it looks like Spiritbinder Mage will be Lucinda's choice, which will play a Proselytizer. Oh, this is going to be nice. So Spiritbinder Mage is going to play Proselytizer on itself, and then that will trigger EM-Urgent's ability, activating the Spiritbinder Mage. And then, when activated, Lucinda will be able to play a character, paying a blue gem towards it. Which, if I understand correctly, yep, here is a Docide Thug to take out that Sentinel. That was a good use of 4 gems.
It sure was. Defeating the Sentinel, actually not that important because, Ella's has an Animus Golem in her hand, and she's thinking about that, and Docide Thug could have been an answer to that.
Sure.
In a vacuum, wildly efficient, wildly powerful.
Yes.
Maybe that's not exactly what you want to do in the world where you're playing against Jaliah Rhone. But honestly,
I don't know.
Yeah, Lucinda's going to come out absolutely swinging because Lysteria is going to ready the Spiritbinder Mage.
Yes. I don't know. I don't agree with your analysis. If you can do that, I think you should do that every time.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, it's just that good. LL's just going to activate Rhone. Like you said, Rhone's trigger isn't tied to his own activation. So if later in the round LL gets a servo in play, then a different character activation like Jaliah could get that red dice.
At the moment, there is no servo that you can play with yellow, yellow, yellow. Oh, you're looking at me like I'm wrong.
Isn't Metal Muscle a servo?
Oh, you got me. I walked right into that one.
But this 3-cost mechanical character is no Metal Muscle. LL's going to play an Animus Golem.
Yeah, 2 durability? Terrible.
Yeah, 5 durability is where it's at. And Metal Muscle rolls a red dice, and Animus Golem's just a stinking white one.
Yeah, Animus Golem consumes a red dice to become shielded.
Yeah. So, all jokes aside, Animus Golem's pretty good, and we'll probably see LL put 2 green counters on it.
Yeah, so it looks like...
it's now. Great.
Yeah, Lucinda readied the Spiritbinder Mage with the Lysteria. Lucinda, Lysteria. 2 different words, because GMB just a little tricky.
Yeah.
Rolled 3 more purple dice. They kind of turned out terrible, but...
Sure.
Tactical reroll might fix that problem.
And didn't have a character to play.
Oh man, another Spiritbinder Mage?
Yeah.
Nuts. Yeah. So mostly what I think we're going to see here is Lucinda's going to have a lot more yield, and LL will be less fragile. So if LL's able to figure out how to trade with the Spiritbinder Mage next round and the Animus Golem lives, LL's going to pull herself back into the driver's seat real fast.
Yeah.
But, oh boy, at the end of this round, I suspect we're going to see Lucinda having done much more damage than LL.
Yeah, that is generally how these growth type cards go, like Animus Golem is.
And Jaliah.
Yeah. So, the last of the dice have been made. Unless Lucinda has a 1-cost blue card in her hand, which there aren't many of in her deck, all the cards have been played, so now we're down to dice. Lucinda rerolls into 4 modify, which will be excellent.
Both players are getting a very high percentage of their maximum yield out of their dice this round.
Yes, they are.
LL is looking like she's going to deal 6 damage. Lucinda is looking like she's going to deal 9.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. And these players have waited until the end of the round in order to resolve all their damage. So those are going to be the actual damage numbers.
But Lucinda had already shielded both her heroes with energy, which means Lucinda is going to be the one that snags the dig in. Oh, actually, LL's probably going to leave. Well, let's let the players make the plays. I'll stop forecasting it.
Yep.
Lucinda resolves 7 damage into Rhone.
LL resolves another 4 damage back. Lucinda's going to put 2 more into Rhone, and LL's almost assuredly digging in here. It's either 1 damage or dig in, and I think the Animus Golem player would rather be the one going first. I guess it gets its only 2 green counters now, and LL's probably going to try to grow it more, so maybe that doesn't matter.
Yeah, but even disregarding the value of going first, you getting a shield and denying your opponent a shield is dice face 2, and you resolving your damage is dice face 1.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
There's some situations where that doesn't matter and you're trying to bring your opponent to a particular number, like if you have a hidden blade or whatever in your hand.
Yes.
But that's not what happens here. LL does take the dig in, and LL got 4 damage in to Lucinda's 9.
Yeah, that's a pretty big difference. A big thing about this EM-Lysteria deck is it rolls a lot of premium dice on round 1 and continues rolling a lot of premium dice throughout the game, and then rolls all its dice at the end of the game with a hidden blade on EM-Urgent. And so it's just always rolling a ton of dice. Now you pay for that because your cards are in A-B synergy, right? You need both the Spiritbinder Mage and the Proselytizer in the hand at the same time.
In addition to that, the Spiritbinder Mage is a 1 durability character.
Yes, it's very fragile as well.
But LL doesn't have the answer.
And Examine the Specimens here, for instance, would be absolutely backbreaking against Lucinda. But that's not what happens. LL's just going to start the round by activating Rhone.
Which means the Spiritbinder Mage is going to go off with a Proselytizer again.
Yes. Lucinda at least has Lucinda has a strike down and is going to strike down the Animus Golem. Interesting. Yeah. So that is, on its face, a good play. I think I personally would have been tempted to hope that LL wants to grow it more because it's shield and therefore maybe it's safe. Because Lucinda's not going to get the strike down modify 2.
Yeah,
because she hasn't made dice yet. And LL just immediately replaces the Animus Golem with another Animus Golem.
We have a backup Animus Golem. So the question is, how big can this one grow?
Yeah.
Jaliah is going to be able to put a green counter on it. We see a continued training. If that's it, then the Animus Golem is going to be rolling 7 dice, 3 white, 4 green.
Yes. Except Spiritbinder Mage's activation here is going to use a Proselytizer trigger in order to play a Docite Thug, which will trade with the Animus Golem.
This is devastating.
Yes. LL has now sunk 6 gems into, I guess, what was responded to with 5 gems. I guess that's actually not that bad if you think about it that way.
And you say 5 gems because you treat the Proselytizer's gem as being free.
Yeah. Actually,
when you put it that way, that sounds fine.
It doesn't sound devastating.
But Lucinda is already in a combo status where this Lysteria is rolling and red, purple, purple, white, black.
Yes.
And LL put some additional investment into the Animus Golem in addition to the 3.
Actually, not
gems.
Really.
She put 2 dice.
She took, and then she rolled 2 dice.
Yeah,
and she
okay.
It was like draw 1, rend 1, and turn it into 2 damage, draw 1, or something like that.
Sure.
It was actually...
It was a reroll that she didn't get to opt into, but was still favorable.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So overall, Lucinda has taken the lead and now is at parity with removal to maintain that lead.
Sure, yep. The dice trading is fair. It's the continued training compared to the Spiritbinder Mage that's not fair.
Exactly.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, and that's where we're at. So that means that we're going to be just activating all our guys and making our dice, and then these dice are going to be how this round finishes up. Spiritbinder Mage's activation. I mean, I guess Lucinda could play another character off this Proselytizer.
Lucinda, again, cut and copied Noble's deck list. Mm-hmm. And one of the things Lucinda was asking was, why does this deck play Protection of Belief instead of Sleight of Hand?
Sure.
And all that to say, she does not have Sleight of Hands in her deck. So that is not what that one yellow gem is going to do.
Sure. There aren't that many yellow one. Is there anything in the deck that this could be? In Lucinda's deck? I don't think so. I don't think there's any 1-cost yellow cards.
Yeah, you could play Wilmer Intern, but you don't.
But you don't.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. So just look at the dice, the number of dice in each player's pool, and you'll get a pretty good representation of what
the discrepancy is.
What the discrepancy is and what the damage output's going to be. So once LL modifies one of those green or black dice into damage, L is looking at 8 damage. And Lucinda's going to resolve a modify here, modifying into 11, it looks like. All right.
Yeah. And 8 to 11, not that big of a problem. Mm-hmm. But we talk all the time about how important breakpoints are.
Yes.
Rhone, less than 8 life.
Yep. And Lysteria has 9 health to LL's potential 8 damage. Oh, wait, no. Where did LL's damage go? She resolved it. So that's even less than I was thinking. That it's not going to be close for LL and Lysteria.
Yeah, Lysteria was at 12.
Yeah.
Now she's down to 9.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So, damage was dealt to Rhone. LL's going to modify into damage, and Lucinda will be resolving out the rest of her damage. And LL will get the dig in, just barely not in time to save Rhone. I guess it wouldn't even have saved.
Yeah. Lucinda has an extra instance of damage, which is going to be used to break Jaliah's shield.
Yeah. And I guess there was a version of this where LL modified her red dice into a shield and then used that shield and then dug in early to save Rhone at 1 health. But, that's probably not as good as just getting the damage into Lysteria.
You give up a lot of damage to do that, and Lucinda gets a couple rolls at trying to make that white dice crack her shield. And so you give up a lot and you might not get anything back for it.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm not saying that was the plan. That should have been the plan.
Yeah, just it's within the range of room to maneuver.
Exactly. So LL dug in, so she's going to go first here in round 3 and has a Docide Thug for the Spiritbinder Mage. It did its job.
Yes, the Spiritbinder Mage was excellent. It got activated 4 times.
Yes, but this Docide Thug is exactly what LL needed to pull back some amount of board state parity.
Yeah, going into round 3, LL had 2 problems. 1, Spiritbinder Mage is huge. 2, You're down 4 life, and that 4 life is your opponent having another hero activation.
Yeah.
She has solved one of those problems, and a good round here could resolve the next one.
Yes. Too Cute to Die will go on this Docide Thug, immediately activating with EM-Urgent, and that provides another thing for Lysteria to ready.
And I believe that LL does not have any clean answers to this. Back Alley Profiteer or...
Hidden Blade into other removal?
Oh, she probably does have that.
Does she have Hidden Blades? I don't think LL plays Hidden Blade.
I guess Masquerade would be a clean way out of this.
Masquerade would be a pretty clean answer to that.
Declaration of War was the phrase the thing I was looking for. But there are not Declaration of Wars in this deck either.
Yeah. LL's removal is like Meltdown, Detonate Mines, Pacify, Search, and Destroy. And none of those deal with a shielded character.
Which means aggression is what she's got. She has an awkward amount of gems left.
Yeah. She played a Prolific Tutor here so that... Let's see. She has an Orchestral Conductor in hand and a Taupat Enforcers. And those both cost 5, and she's got 4 gems left.
Yeah, I think she wanted a second thing to Conductor onto, and then that ended up knocking her out of the gems to play a 5.
Yeah, I suppose. All right, well, she'll figure something out, and I'm excited to figure out what that is. On the other side, Lucinda's just going down the line, activate Lysteria, readying the Thug, activate the Thug, and now it looks like activating... Oh, I guess we're waiting on LL's Jaliah trigger.
And this is a tricky one.
Yeah.
And she opts not to do it. So the reason this is tricky is if you put a counter, it would have to be black, but if you put a black counter on the Prolific Tutor, it then gets to roll that dice and then move that dice onto the Docide Thug. So you would still roll black, and you would now have a black counter on your Thug.
Yeah, but you're giving up a dice showing modify in order to do that. So Prolific Tutor is going to move a black counter from Jaliah onto the Docide Thug.
Okay, so you still get one of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And on the other side, Lucinda just resolved a draw 1 instead of activating EM-Urgent and drew a Blessing of the Cloth, which she then just plays right now with perfectly with the rest of her gems.
Yep, that was tight play. That was
very good.
Very nicely done.
Now, she didn't roll into that much damage, but she'll have tactical rerolls and, she'll find something, I'm sure.
And if either of these purple dice find modify, it's like the other one did as well.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so LL's got the rest of her dice here. And, it's looking like it's going to be like 5 damage.
Yeah, it's very likely going... Well, never mind. I was going to say it's very likely going to beat the Lysteria, and then I saw the 3 shield dice in Lucinda's pool.
Yeah. LL's going to modify into draw to find a way to use these gems.
Oh, LL's going to do 0 damage this round.
Maybe. Depends on what she draws.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
The 2 draws are Overcharge and another Docide Thug. Okay.
Docide Thug plus Radar Servo does anything. It's a fine way to spend your gems. You're probably priced into doing it.
Yeah. There's a version of this where Overcharge is that red gem, like Docide Thug Overcharge. Was there a Radar Servo?
Yeah, there's a Radar Servo.
Okay.
Yeah, but you just can't make more damage sources than your opponent has defenses.
Sure. Assuming that Lucinda resolves those 2 sabotages.
That's true. Yeah, if Lucinda decides that she wants to go full aggro and reroll blue dice looking for damage.
Yep.
But no, she's happy nursing her lead. And this is always Lucinda's style. Lucinda does not like to play combo. Lucinda does not like to play aggro. She likes to play control.
Sure.
She's playing this deck because...
It's good.
Yeah.
And it's sweet.
And it is sweet.
Yeah. But if she can be in the controlling seat and just like, I do 5 damage, you do 4, let's keep doing that every round.
Yeah,
she's going to take that line.
Lucinda is very happy sabotaging your damage.
Yeah, great. So LL is going to play Docide Thug here, and it's almost assuredly not going to use its trigger.
There's kind of an argument that you're supposed to take off the other Thug's shield.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. She isn't going to do that.
Oh, there's no argument for that with Lucinda just having more shield 2 showing.
Yeah.
Never mind. My apologies.
Yeah. So LL gets 1 more red dice, and it is a shield. All right. So we're going to be dealing some damage to Jaliah here. LL will shield 1. And yeah, like you said, LL is going to come out of this round not having done any damage. Lucinda's going to tactical reroll into energy and shield, and that energy doesn't do anything. We didn't mention earlier, but Lucinda does not have good energy abilities, and Jaliah has the best energy ability in the game. So the discrepancy in who cares about energy and how you care about energy is a pretty big one.
Lucinda did resolve Lysteria's energy previously this game.
Yeah.
And it got her a dig in, which was pretty important.
Yeah.
But here it sure looks like she's going to return a proselytizer or a blessing of the cloth to her hand.
Sure.
Nope. That's a
tactical reroll.
That is not what I thought was happening here.
And so she turned 4 shields into shield energy into energy. The radar servo there for LL modified her black dice into a draw. And now Lucinda's just going to cut her losses and dig in.
Okay, so...
LL's got 1 more black dice to make. And what do we got? Nothing. Okay.
This is not a glamorous round for LL.
No, it is not.
Lucinda's Lysteria has readied a 3-dice object every round. It's happened 3 times.
Well, that sounds ideal for the Lysteria player.
Yes. And she honestly might put another attachment on Doeside Thug to start this round.
Yeah. LL has somewhat demonstrated that she doesn't have a way to deal with that Doeside Thug.
Okay, so going into round 4, Lucinda has 20 life across 2 bodies. LL has 8 life on her Jaliah. And again, both of these players are 1-1, and you need to be 2-1 in order to qualify for the elimination rounds.
Yes.
So LL's not gonna scoop early. She's gonna try and clutch this out.
Yes.
But it would
playing it out.
It would be a comeback for the ages.
Yes, and we have seen those on camera here and there. And I hope for LL's sake that this is one of them.
Yep.
But Lucinda dug in, and she's going to start by activating the Doeside Thug with the 2 cute to die on it, rolling 3 dice. And there's a 2 damage. That's a quarter of the way there. Ish.
LL has an energy retracer, a disrupt communications. She's gonna disrupt the 2 cute to die, which is a fine play, but I would advise that you do that after your opponent readies the Doeside Thug.
Sure.
Except Lucinda has Hidden Blade in her hand.
Hidden Blade Lysteria?
Yeah, we've seen it before.
Yeah, okay. That is quite possible. Lucinda has another 2 cute to die in hand, though. Oh, and a Hidden Blade, you're right. And that 2 cute to die is going to go on Lysteria, activating her, readying the Doeside Thug, even without the Disrupt Communication. Yeah,
it's still another premium dice, which is enough to make Lysteria a powerful hero.
Yeah, if Lysteria just rolled red, white, base, no effect, she'd be played.
People would talk about her a lot less.
Yeah, she'd be a lot less exciting. But when she just readies a Doeside Thug, that's basically what she's doing.
Yeah, and that is perfectly fine.
Yes. LL finds her first energy retracer of the game, and this will sabotage presumably either the blue or the red. Nice, the blue dice.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're trying to survive this round and do more damage than your opponent, putting blue counters on your guys is probably better than red.
Yeah, that's fair. If you're trying to survive, yeah. So there's this interesting thing. The blue dice is going to help her produce defenses, but getting rid of the red dice would have taken 2 damage off the table.
Yes.
So that is some tough calculus.
It really is. All right, so Lucinda has a Hidden Blade pulled to the front of her hand, and so she could swiftly activate EM-Urgent, take off Jaliah's shield, and roll enough damage to defeat him. Now, that's not all that likely, but it is possible. And looks like that's what she's going to do.
All right.
Yeah.
So the Hidden Blade EM-Urgent interaction, tremendously powerful. Playing the card is swift. It removes a shield from Jaliah. EM-Urgent triggers. We're going to activate EM-Urgent. We're going to roll 6 dice. And again, playing the Hidden Blade was swift. So after all of that, it will be Lucinda's turn again.
Yes. And how much damage do we have? We have 2, 4, 6, 8 damage. No, that's a draw 2.
6.
That's a draw 2. Never mind. Yeah. So 6 damage and a whole bunch of dice showing a bunch of other things.
But Lucinda can modify not just into lethal, but into lethal showing 1 symbol.
Yeah.
She can modify into lethal mental. She can't modify into lethal physical.
Okay. Lucinda's just going to deal her 4 damage, taking Jaliah down to 4. And that means that LL is in a very spooky, precarious position.
But this critically gives LL the opportunity to activate objects that have dice that have shields on them.
Yep.
She goes for the Docide Thug first instead of a blue dice.
Yep. Red dice can roll shields, and this one doesn't. Okay. So, Lucinda has a couple options here. One of them is just modify,
3.
Yeah, purple, green into 6 damage. I'm curious if she's going to do that, or is she going to make the rest of her dice with that Docide Thug or another attachment on it or something and actually just go over the top.
Yeah, Lucinda takes a quick look to see, are there any Druids of Wilting Ferns in play? No, not this time.
Not this time.
She resolves her modify 3.
Yep. Into damage, which is enough to defeat Jaliah unless LL has 2 shields or a way to sabotage 2 dice. So I guess I was going to say back alley deal, but
there's just red dice showing.
Yeah. Okay. And that's going to do it. So thank you for playing LL. Lucinda is the winner here, going on to the semifinals.
And the way that this tournament was structured, if there is a 3-0 and 2 2-1s, then we don't cut to the top 4. The 3-0 goes directly to the finals, and the 2 2-1s play in the semifinal. And as it turns out, you, Adam,
yes.
you're the 3-0.
Yes, thank you.
And I am the other 2-1.
Yes.
Which means shortly, and by that I mean in 2 or 3 days,
yep.
You'll get to see Lucinda and me battle it out for the opportunity to fight Adam for the championship.
Yeah, I'm excited to see all these videos eventually go up.
Thank you guys for watching. If you liked this, please like this video. If you just stumbled upon us because the algorithm said you should like this content, it was right. Subscribe to the channel so that you see more of it.
Yeah, there's Learn to Play videos. There's a variety of other things. We'd love to have you.
And Set 2 is coming, and Set 2 is going to be awesome, and there's spoiler content on this channel too, so check some of that out.
Yeah, thanks for watching.